Hello everyone, Randy here again, and we are playing Farming Simulator 15 on the Forest map. A mostly forestry logging related map with just a little bit of farming on it. But yeah, hopefully this episode will be focusing mostly on the logging. And that's probably what mostly this series on this map will focus on. We might do a little farming, we'll see once, but for the most part we'll probably stick with the forestry on this map, seeing as how that is the idea behind this map. And for this episode, we're starting off with one of the FDR machines here. I don't recall which one this one is in particular. Let's find out. I believe it is that one. That would be the processor. Which is probably more intended for cutting the trees to length necessarily than maybe cutting them down, but I'm going to use them to cut them down too because it just seems to work pretty good for that. So. And also, I've been trying out a dual joystick setup here, giving that a try. So, might be a little rough at this. We're gonna find out here. I keep having to retweak the controls to get the controls that I need to do what I need them to do. And looks like I do need to tweak them a little more yet, but we're getting warmer. I've got, yeah, most of the controls on the two joysticks here, so. Let's see if we can cut this tree down for starters. Which reminds me, that's probably one control I should get on the... I might also have to calibrate my joysticks, because I notice I keep... yeah, something's shifting down. So I must have something out of calibration on one of my joysticks here. Oh well. And we're definitely going to change the cut length. Oh, okay. It just changes to that. I guess you don't have a whole lot of option, do you? Yeah, it's kind of weird playing farming sim with dual joysticks. I am not used to that. Nope, actually I want to tilt it that way. That should do, I think. And then we'll cut it again. The 12 meters, at least for some of these trees, seems to work pretty good. They get two nice sections out of them. The swing part here I have on buttons at the moment. I set this up, I believe I've got it set up, FDR, for those of you who have not seen his mods. He has a page showing what controls to map where, and I believe that's the way he said to set it up. Something just does not feel right having that on a button though, so... And when I say what's on a button here, I'm talking about the turning of this head here. That's on a button push. It works, but something I might have to tweak something with that yet. And yeah, like I said, I think I need to recalibrate one of my joysticks here. That head is slowly rotating, even though I'm not doing anything with that. Oh, I guess we've hit the tree. This is pretty much just a scorpion, I guess you could say. And essentially, in what it does anyway. It's got mostly the same functionality as a Ponzi scorpion. That might have been a little too far. Oh, let's go back up. I think there's a cliff back there I just about went off. Yep, that would be a cliff I just about fell off there. Oops. Ah, but we didn't quite fall off, though. Also, one of the controls here seems backwards. I'm not sure if I've got it mapped wrong or Maybe that's just the way it is. And just to, maybe I'll go over the controls that I have set here. So I've got, like I said, 2 joysticks. We'll just refer them to as the left and right joystick here. On my right joystick, I've got the main boom up and down. And then I've got left and right here on the right joystick, tilts that head. And then on the left joystick, extends the dipper arm. Or the secondary arm, I'm not sure. I know on a backhoe, I believe it's usually referred to as a dipper. I'm not sure what it'd be referred to on this, in this particular case, but does that arm. And that's the one that seems like it's backwards. And when I push the joystick forward, it goes up. It should go down, not up. And then same thing here. When I pull back, it comes back towards me. That just feels backwards to what I'm used to. And then, yes, the turn function is also on the left joystick, left and right. I can turn, which is pretty cool. And then the button on the left joystick rotates that head. And then button on the right joystick opens and closes the claw on the head here as well. So, let's continue on. Also, the point of view hats, fob hats, on the top of my joysticks I'm using for looking around and driving. That was actually a suggestion, because that was the problem I was having. Okay, I got all these controls configured on my joystick for, you know, the loader controls and crane controls and whatnot. Now how do I drive? Because it feels awkward if you have to, you know, go for the keyboard or go for the steering wheel. Kind of want them all on the same device if I can. And I'm still getting used to this yet, by the way. Pretty much just set this up here. Actually, before I started recording, I made a few more changes. So, yeah, I really need to... Yeah, it must be the left and right on my joystick here for that tilting that head is messed up or something. Must need to be recalibrated. Other than that, probably should increase the dead zone. That would probably be a good idea. Using joysticks. Oh man, we're gonna end up with a little piece. Oh well. Run the little piece through. I can definitely see this being a really quick way to do some logging once you get good at it. Like I said, I just set it up, so I'm just learning how to operate these controls yet. Oh, that'd probably help if I open the claw, wouldn't it? And kind of one nice thing about the FDR equipment that I kind of like, how the in-game equipment, sometimes the logs will show the equipment who's boss. In this case, the FDR equipment shows the logs who's boss. You're not going to really throw this FDR equipment around much. Well, that was a weird glitch there. The FDR equipment handles the logs quite well, I'll have to say. And is it just me or is my log pile not really growing here? I've cut down, is this the 4th tree? I was hoping to have a nice little pile here by now. I can maybe start picking them up, but... I guess the last couple we haven't really got a whole lot out of either, so... The one thing I am a little bit, I've got to figure out, I guess you could say. I've got the twist function on my joysticks. those don't seem to do nothing, even though, according to FDR, they are mapped to something. I'm just not sure what they do, because I can twist, and neither of them do anything, so I gotta figure out that part yet. So I essentially have two controls there yet that aren't doing anything. I'm not sure if I don't have something right, or... Yeah, like I said, just gotta figure this out yet, so... But yeah, the biggest thing that helped so far is I have the driving on the joysticks now. Otherwise, previously I was driving with a keyboard, operating the loader / crank controls with the joysticks, and that just, it was not working out well, at least in my opinion anyway. It is a little bit odd driving this thing with the little pop hats on the top of the joysticks, but it works. Oh, that one kind of fell out of the claw a little bit, didn't it? Oh, well. Hopefully that doesn't matter. We'll find out, I guess. Oh, there we go. We got it back in, I think. Okay, just a reminder again for those who want to join us on the map here, want to get a little forestry action, I guess you could say. The mods are in the description below. And there seems to be some confusion about this all the time, but there are 2 download links. The first one will download all the mods that should be needed to join the server. I want to put emphasis on should download all the mods. Not necessarily all the time does it, it seems like. And then there's a second download link that will let you download the mods individually. So if you maybe need one mod or you need a couple of mods, you can use that download link. Like that cut the tree, did it? There it is, okay. I was going to say, I told it to cut the tree, but it didn't seem like it did. Maybe try this from the outside view too. That's something somebody pointed out, by the way, and I'm not sure I have an answer to this. It seems like when we're getting into vehicles on the map here, we automatically get into the cab. Not sure why that is, if there's something that's causing that, or that might just be the default view for some of this equipment too. The only thing is, we have some of the in-game equipment on the map here as well, and I'm pretty sure that's not the default view for that equipment. So far, so good. And I have to say, for those of you who have not tried the dual joysticks, it actually is a lot of fun. It's going to take some time tinkering with the controls, getting it set up properly, getting, you know, the buttons configured that you need configured for whatever you're trying to do. If you're doing logging, you know, you're going to have to set up buttons and controls for that. Like I said, it looks like I still need to play with my controls just a little bit yet, but we're definitely getting warmer. At least I think I'm getting warmer anyway. I cannot see where the stump is on that. Or really not a stump at this point. Well, it will be a stump in a moment here. Oh, we're actually almost lined up perfectly here. There we go. Close them claws. Hit the X button. Oh wait, why can I not cut this? We are closed in on it. There we go. Sort of. A little bit of tension on that one. Also, I think a better dead zone, or either that, maybe I just need to recalibrate my joysticks, and that might help too. But they're really touchy, so I'm thinking a better dead zone would help. At least for me, anyway. Oh, I was saying, why are we stop moving? That's why we're stop moving. Okay, again, it says it cut it, but there we go. And somebody will probably point out, at least those that have or know about FDR's equipment, probably should be using the feller buncher for this. I believe that is how he intends the trees to be cut down. And then you use the processor here to actually cut the trees to length. That's probably, you know, like I said, the more intended way this is to be done. However, this seems to work. For some reason, I kind of prefer this machine. Just because you can cut the tree down and you can cut it to length all at the same time without having to, you know, go pick it up again. But I believe the machine that, for actually cutting the trees down, I believe is the feller buncher. Let's see, do I have one around here? I don't see one around here at the moment. I think we got like 2 of them, or maybe 3 of them. And you know what, let's cut one more tree down here. We'll cut one more down, and then we'll see if we can pick these up that we cut down so far. Oh, that's like weird. Like 2 trees. Yeah, there's 2 trees here. Okay, this is going to be interesting. If I cut again. Oh, shoot, it's going to try to cut it down to length, isn't it? Okay, how are we going to do this? If I release the claws a little bit, can I back out of this mess? I can. Nice. I don't think you'd get away with that with the in-game Ponzi. I've been told, by the way, that that can happen with double trees. If the mod author accidentally double clicks, it is possible, remotely possible, to actually place 2 trees in the same spot. I believe what's supposed to happen if you do that is the one tree is supposed to get placed on the other one, but I guess if you like do it quick enough or something, it will actually somehow place it in the same spot when you're making the map, that is. Oh, this must be a long tree. Yeah, look at that. We got 3 sections out of that one. I think the best we've done so far, it's mostly been 2 sections. Okay, we'll just move this out of the way here. And yeah, so far the map seems to be running pretty good on the server here. We haven't had any glitches yet. I want to emphasize yet, because I'm sure it'll probably happen. And that, by the way, is the main reason we are cheating here on this map. Just because I expect we'll probably have some problems at some point. And we're mainly just focusing on, we're going to have some fun with this equipment. We're going to chop down some trees. We're going to create some serious damage in this forest, hopefully. It looks like somebody made a mess over here already. Anyway, let's see what's here. I want to find something that'll pick these logs up with. Well, that'll hold the logs. That won't pick them up, though. Hey, that'll pick them up. That won't hold them, though. That might... Oh, you know what? Let's try this piece over here. This particular unit, by the way, is actually really good for picking up logs. At least in the past it was. Not sure I like the claw that's on that one. I've never tried that. Maybe we should get the green... the ugly green machine over here. And this has a really good claw on it as well. I know that'll pick up the logs pretty good. You know what? Let's try this one. This is, looks like a newer machine to me. I haven't seen this one before. Let's give it a try. And let's see, which way's... That's forward, okay. We got our claw stuck up in a tree here. There we go. Like I said, that's one reason I kind of want to increase the dead zone, because I so much as touched the joystick a little bit right away. You know, it's not doing stuff I want it to do, really. Kind of sort of a tree in the way here. Let's see if we can clean that out a minute, or up a minute. Oh, looks like we're partially across it anyway. If we can get all the way across it, I'll call that good as well. This is probably a good example where that processor would come in handy. You should be able to tilt the head, pick this end of it up, and then, you know, chop it down to whatever size you want it to. Oh, that's probably why we were able to get over it. It got stuck on the stump there, and we were able to... Oh, no, it went right through the stump. Okay. Yeah, we should be able to reach the logs from there, I think. Okay, is this camera view? Is that all it shows, really? It's kind of not so useful. Oh, there's what one of the twist functions does. Probably because I've been operating some of the cutting machinery. I haven't operated much of the pickup machinery yet. The twist function here extends, or does the extend option. So that's what that does. Good to know. Go to external camera here, because that camera that's on that crane just doesn't seem to be doing it very good. Yeah, no, I'm not particularly a fan of this crane so far. Also, these logs are probably a little too long for this. You know what? I'm going to have to get a truck. I just realized that. How long is this? This was probably actually meant for the was it 5 point some meter length the other option was on the machine? That's probably the more intended length for this machine. Shoot, who wants to cut them that short? I don't know if I can get a truck up here, though. That might be another problem. Unless I could park the truck down here, and I could park the crane up on the hill. That'd be pretty cool. That might work. This is the FDR truck and trailer, by the way. Oh, it looks like we got a tree that maybe fell through the road there. That's not particularly cool. Like I said, that's one of the kind of issues with the multiplayer. Lots of little bugs, stuff that falls through the map. And then just other random glitches that who knows what might happen. Okay, let's grab this thing that only picks up logs. Okay, it doesn't move. Why does it not move? Well, that's not very useful. Oh, there we go. Now something's happening. Okay, the controls on this particular crane here seem a little bit interesting. So if you push forward, and then you push down both left and right, then it seems to move a little bit quicker. That's definitely different. Reminds me more of like a bulldozer type steering for some reason. Anyway, we'll see if we can get a bunch of logs here on this trailer before we wrap up the episode. That one tree here is going to be annoying, isn't it? Okay, well now that we kind of made a mess anyway. And this, by the way, is what I like about the FDR equipment with its grapple. No way you can do that with the in-game equipment. It's just so nice and rigid, I guess is the word I'm looking for. See if we can release some here. There we go. Yeah, they're sticking out just a little bit. Oh well. Not the greatest loading job. Not really the greatest cutting job either, probably. But anyway, folks, I think we better wrap it up there. If folks have any comments or questions, be sure to leave them below. And just a reminder, links to the mods are in the description below. Also, information for the TeamSpeak server is in the description below as well. And as always, thanks for watching, and till next time.